Hey, what's up, guys? Rob Satcham, Feedbackwrench. You do web design, marketing, SEO for small businesses, accountants, bookkeepers, tax professionals, construction, remodeling, and that stuff. I want to talk to the accountants and the bookkeepers, and I want to bring up something about niching. What is the best business niche? How do you niche properly? How do you attract and close business niches? And there's a lot of information out there. I'm just going to give it to you fresh. I'm going to add value where most people would sit and bait you into this, and they would try and get you to watch their video and try and drag on all of the time. Here's the bottom line. Google has determined that bookkeeping services, accountants near me, tax accountants, business, bookkeepers, business, accountants, tax preparation services, CPA, certified public accountants, certified public firms near me, CPA firms, all of those keywords will always have up at the top a set of Google ads, and then they have determined that those are locally driven businesses. So the first niche that you have to be targeting is your location. You have to try and dominate the 10 to 20 mile circle around your area. While you may be excited about having a virtual firm and providing advisory service and helping people mitigate their taxes and coming alongside of them as a CFO, the way most people are going to find you is they're just going to search bookkeepers near me, bookkeeping services near me, tax accountants near me, and they're going to find you. And because they're actually looking for a solution, hopefully you show up. But Google has provided this path of least resistance in the local Google My Business. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do business nationally. In fact, as somebody who has customers throughout the United States, all over the place, but here locally in Minneapolis and St. Paul, we crush it. We're probably the highest ranking web designer here in the South Metro, all the way up until Minneapolis, and there's a couple of big guys in there. But we have tons of local business and we have tons of national business. So you may get all concerned that by going to a local niche that people are going to insist on meeting with you. They're going to make your life more difficult. Now, that may be true. I have a customer right now who wants to gear away from the home services, construction, kind of the good old boy type of businesses, and don't want to work with local contractors because a handful of them want to meet in person. Now, here's what I've found is that might happen. But if you're really frank about it and just say, hey, let's meet periodically, just so you know, we're only going to meet once in person. The rest of this has got to be remote because, I'm not trying to have you up in my business all the time. Just be frank with people. It's going to work. But the reason why you have to focus on this is because it's a gimme. It's an absolute easy layup that you will dominate on. There's nothing else more easy for you to do than to show up to all of the businesses. I mean, there are pickup trucks all over the place here, from concrete guys to masonry folks to remodelers to HVAC to doggone real estate agents. They're everywhere. And the beauty of inbound and the beauty of search is that people are actually looking for a solution. So if you can show up when people are looking for that core commercial keyword, bookkeeping service near me, the way you do that is by having your Google business profile set up for that local spot. So there's a couple layers here. I just want to add value. Book a consultation with us. If you go to feedbackwrench.com, we have a $12,000, $7,500, and $4,500 package. We have up to 12-month pay options. We set you up with a website that actually sells, actually converts, really ranks locally. You can do the lead magnet nurturing thing and target, if you want to go after HVAC contractors or you really want to get into real estate investors, we can run Facebook ads and use that as a lead magnet. But at the core of what we do is we understand how to get you into position to dominate your local and then your industry niche. So the first niche is all about location, and here's what you have to do for that. Number one, your homepage and your core services pages should be really well breathed out, and you should aim for the major metropolitan area or whatever vernacular and terminology that your local area searches. So for example, here in the Twin Cities, people search Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities. And then in the suburbs, there's certainly some suburbs that are more prominent in people's minds than others. So your core homepage, your core like your bookkeeping page, your tax preparation service page, those sub-service pages should have sprinkling in there of titles, Q&A, FAQ, different sections that put your main metropolitan area in there. Because by golly, if someone searches Minneapolis accountant, you need to show up. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to take your Google business profile, you have to fill it out properly, and in that Google business profile, just so you know, you're going to choose your main category, your main service category, and then you have two options. You can either be a service-based business or a service area business, or you can be a physical location business. Whatever you do, don't fib that. If you don't have an actual office that you've rented and you're actually there, just do a service area business. But here's what you should know. Wherever you verify your postcard to, that is the place that from a 10 to 15 mile circle outside of that, you're going to have the ability to rank. So set your Google business profile, pick accounting firm, CPA firm, or bookkeeping service, tax preparation service as your core category that you're in, and then really try to get to a point where you would do a service-based business and then try and verify at your house is probably what you're going to have to do. But if you had somebody that could verify a location closer to the metro area so that your 15-mile circle is going to be more prominent and be where customers are, that's going to be good. When you're out in the sticks, like I'm out in Lakeville, I'm like 25 miles or 20 miles south, 18 miles south of Minneapolis, it gets harder to rank. So you'll want to think that through. But once you get that verified, then you're going to go into your services. On the Google business profile now, there's the core category and then there's additional services. Make sure you put bookkeeping services as one of the top ones, business tax preparation services, tax preparation. You have tax consultant, and then you have certified public accountant if you're actually a CPA. You're going to want to add all those in there, and then there's a whole process of making sure you put up to 20 locations. Don't go too far on these. You'll really want to make sure that it's your core locations that you'll actually be working in within about a 15-mile circle. So put all 20 of them in there, start from where you are and work your way out, and just think of the cities, right? Cities are usually how people search. There may be some counties and stuff. I generally don't do counties. What I find is it's the cities. So that's the second thing. And then you're going to want to make sure that you get a whole set of citations set up. And all this is we have to send the signal to Google that you exist. So you want to build a website. You'll want to have a website, and in the footer, make sure that you fill out, put your business name, your address, a link to your Google business profile. You'll want to make sure you fill out your Google business profile and put and actually point to your website and back and forth. Then you'll want to open up Facebook business page, Instagram page, LinkedIn business page, YouTube page. You'll want to do your Bing places, and then you're going to want to go in and set up your Apple Maps. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stand out amongst the trillions of websites that are out there and send the signal that you do work here. Now, ensure that you title your business intelligently. When you're doing this, you shouldn't just say John's Accounting. It should be John's Bookkeeping, Accounting, and Tax. You can't keyword cram this too much, but if you don't have the keywords in there, you're not going to rank. Your job is to think of a title, because you're in your Google business profile, that's going to be a heavy reason of how you're going to rank. So make sure that you try and create a title for your business, and then on your meta titles, meta descriptions in your website, and then how you title your Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of that should be, Pulver, CPA, Bookkeeping, and Tax, or whatever that is, so that you're sending these triggers that you're in these families of keywords. And essentially what's going to happen there is you're going to dramatically improve your rankings. It's going to help send the signals across everything. So that's the other thing you're going to want to do. Open up all those profiles, point them all to your website, build out your website. Now, again, you have a home page, you have a page for every service geared towards the metropolitan area. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is actually probably start creating content landing pages that are geared towards those cities and those locations, because some people will search accountants near Lakeville, accountants Bloomington business accountants, tax preparation services Bloomington, all the different areas. And when that happens, you're going to have ads, you're going to have your Google business profile, and then underneath that there's probably an opportunity for you to rank a page and rank maybe a listicle. And this is what we do here at Feedbackwrench. We actually write and create this content so that you're laying this out. And I'm telling you, you plant these seeds of doing this right, your Google business profile and your website and all the content that you create ends up flourishing and growing and maturing into a high-ranking, excellent website. Because Google, when you're first coming out, Google's going to put you in what we call the sandbox. It doesn't want to let you rank. It's going to be very cynical of you. It doesn't know who you are. But as you do all of this over time, you're going to find that you have a significant increase in your rankings. Now, a couple other things you're going to want to look at. You're going to create a whole bunch of blog posts and actual helpful, great content that will target the location niche along with the service niche. So it might be, 10 ways Lakeville business owners can improve their bookkeeping or whatever that is. I would target the local with that sub keyword. There's even some listicles that you can write, and that's what we really like doing that. Don't let Yelp and Thumbtack and these other third-party organizations be the ones that show up for these top 10 bookkeepers in Lakeville. You make that, write that. We do that all the time, and it will help you rank. So you'll want to make sure that you get that filled out, and when you're building out those blogs, you'll want to hyperlink into that location page or into your homepage with a rich anchor text that actually has the type of keyword that you'd want to rank for. And if you're careful about that, you don't want to overdo it, but the idea is if you make a top 8 bookkeeping services for Minneapolis, by golly, that should probably hyperlink to your Minneapolis bookkeeping page, and that anchor text for that link, the internal links is what I'm getting at for your website are important. That link, the text that's hyperlinked, that's called an anchor text. It's really important. So make sure that you work on that. And then the next thing would be is if you have any relationships at a chamber or at BNI or any other business owners that you know, if you could start to find ways to collaborate together and start, basically putting votes of confidence to each other and providing backlinks, particularly with rich anchor text and real content. You guys should be blogging with your friends that are business owners and feature each other on the websites. Don't just stick a little listing on there. You really want to breathe that out. So that's another thing. The last step that I would really encourage you is don't neglect your reviews. You've got to push as hard as you possibly can to treat everybody excellently. And there's 2 types of reviews. Number 1, you have people that have actually done business with you. Number 2, you have people that trust you. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is reach out to everybody that trusts you, your family members, your friends, your old peers, people that you've done life with that know you, and say, hey, I was wondering if you would give a character reference review on my Google profile. Here's the link to my Google profile, and then you go on to Google Business, you actually get the link, you share it to them, and what they then have an opportunity to say, hey, I worked with Rob before, at our old job. He hasn't built me a website, but I trust him 100%. He's a man of integrity, a good family person, and he volunteers at our church all the time. You want that. That's a good thing for your review. Now, the best are diligently following up with your customers, but folks, don't cut corners in this. I am so sick of watching people come to me and tell me that they're going to automate this process of getting reviews. Call your customer, text them. Hey, I was wondering, would you help me? My marketing guy's teasing me because I don't have any Google reviews and I've helped a ton of people. Would you help me and maybe leave a review for me? And I'm telling you, if you commit to reviews, you set things up right, you get the local stuff going. Over time, you'll want to write more and more local content, get local backlinks to your local pages. All that will build momentum, and eventually you'll start to rank locally. And I'll come back. I'm going to make another video about talking about sector niches and industry niches and how to do that. Good luck. God bless. Check out our podcast. We get the Feedbackwrench channel. We're going to be creating a couple more channels for contractors and stuff because we've had so much success for remodelers, landscaping contractors. But good luck. God bless. Appreciate you.